Hello, welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB. So, the young CGB account. People really want to play along with this. Like, they want a video every day. I've received a lot of feedback. I'm excited about that. Also, I think the realistic way to do that is for these raw kind of supporters and unlisted uploads, which means I'm not doing all the editing. You might see some ugly games, it'll happen. But it does mean I get to use some different music. This is Arcade High, who gave me permission to put their music on YouTube, which is really exciting. So we're gonna play some different tunes, chill out, see what happens here with the young CGB account. So here's what I'm looking at right now. Blue, black, and green, white. This black or green spell, 750, we do want to do because we need that gold. We want to reroll one of these. They both overlap with green and black. So it's kind of a crapshoot. So I think the question is, do we want to play mono green or mono black? Because we want to save one of the other ones. And I think mono green is way better than mono black. So in that case, we're going to save this one, and we're going to re-roll the green one for a 750. So this one will go untouched, so it's another re-roll tomorrow. I hope you follow what we're trying to do. We're trying to have a 500 at the end of the day. All right, 25 land, easy enough. But see, if I had re-rolled this one, then I couldn't play mono green and still have this one left, because I'm obviously going to play 25 lands today. It's a little counterintuitive. You may have to think it through a bit more than maybe I want to. Let's get some, as much as I love playing red, and it's a lot stronger, let's play green just to make sure we get those sweet green quests. Do I have any cards to sub into my green deck? The Territorial Boar might not be terrible compared to something like a Greenwood Sentinel that isn't as good, but I'm going to look at the whole picture here. Runic Armasaur is probably fine. It's one of the rares that we opened. Striders, meh. Sprouting Renewal might be good just as something to deal with enchantments and artifacts, just like Canopy can possibly deal with some troublesome permanents. Biogenetic Upgrade is another way to make our big creatures bigger is interesting, but probably unnecessary. And Hatchery Spider at 7 mana, probably not, but it's likely better than a lot of things our deck is doing. I think I want this Gorgon just to have a Death Touch creature. And a Diamond Mare isn't the worst. Arcane Encyclopedia. You saw that I kind of have an appreciation for these cards. And maybe the Boar, because I think it's better than a Greenwood Sentinel. Although, all it gains is +1/+1 in Vigilance. It's not huge or anything. So I'm going to cut Plummet because Crushing Canopy is more versatile. This is a cantrip, meaning it draws a card, which means it's never that bad. Rabid Bite's pretty important. The elves are very important. Centaur Courser at 3 mana for a 3/3 is not very good. We can definitely trim that at least a little. I think the Gorgon that we added, the Sprouting Renewal, and the Armasaur are better. And the Encyclopedia. Bristling Boar is also not very good. It's all this like ugly filler so that we can cast Giants. So yeah, I'm not feeling the Boar. I'm not feeling the Courser. And that gets us to 260 cards. So let's work it from there. Let's see what we can do. Play a game to complete this quest and we get a deck. It looks like it has some green cards, so maybe it will help our deck. 5 wins from a pack, 250 dailies. Yep, let's go get it. I'm going to regular play. I don't want to play this in ranked. I actually think it would be a bit of a mistake because this deck is very bad. So I think this is an appropriate time to use the play mode, because that way, win or lose, we can get our quest done. And I have a feeling that we're only going to lose. I don't feel like I have a very competitive deck. Maybe we'll get lucky. Uncut CGB means sometimes you'll see me turn around, even though the song is saying don't turn around. That's really creepy. But you'll see me turn around and make sure that a video I'm editing for YouTube for the main channel is processing. Multitasking. Don't be freaked out by this. I just kind of check it and make sure it keeps moving between games. All right, land off the top, very good. So I didn't talk about the hand. It was a risky keep. We really did need to draw land, but we did. And I think I'm going to drop my mana dorks, all of them, so that the top of our deck can be super friendly if we need it to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is where we're at for Ghalta. Our opponent, Dawn of Hope on turn 2 off white. Off white blue, pretty scary. Let's hit him as hard as we can. Draw 2 lands off the top, play an Armasaur. Whenever an opponent activates an ability of a creature or land that isn't a mana ability, we may draw a card. Unfortunately, Dawn of Hope is an enchantment. And we still don't have it for Ghalta. That's not good. Our opponent with a Psychic Corrosion. Looks like their plan is to mill us to death. Meaning every time they draw, stuff goes to the graveyard. The green mana certainly implies that they would have a Fog effect to settle the wreckage, and then you look in our graveyard and you see a Crushing Canopy, destroy target enchantment, which would have been so helpful. I'm going to play out the Highland game because it doesn't change the Ghalta math, because it adds 2 power to the battlefield for 2 mana. Then I'm going to play Ghalta, the Primal Hunger, and we're just going to hope for the best. We're going to attack with our creatures. Our opponent may have settled the wreckage. That's too bad. But we did get it out of their hand, so that now maybe Ghalta can hit. Here is Psychic Corrosion, 2 cards to the graveyard. I'm also going to tell you, I mean, this may be frowned upon, but if I run out of cards to play and I don't think I can win, I'm likely to concede against a deck like this, as they tend to take a very long time to win. Well, this can remove an enchantment or make a creature, which is good. We can attack the Teferi and kill it, as well as getting a little more damage in. So what I don't want is for Ghalta to get milled away by the Corrosion, so I'm going to Sprouting Renewal the Corrosion, attack Teferi for 1, and attack the opponent for 4. There's nothing wrong with doing like the movie Searching for Bobby Fischer and see it before you move. The lesson from Ben Kingsley to little Josh Waitskin was don't move until you see it. Don't move until you see it. There's nothing wrong with playing out the turn in your head and then playing it on the battlefield. In fact, I would encourage this strongly. So let's see what the Cowboy can do next. Oh, that's too bad. Let's hope they can't draw a card this turn. They can. They just had a perfect draw. Now they get to mill away our Ghalta. Which, you know, what can you do? Sometimes lucky, sometimes not. Let's try for a Hatchery Spider. Our Undergrowth is at 2, so that's not a lot. But we need a big body to keep doing damage to the opponent, and Hatchery Spider might be able to do the job. We get to look at our top 2 cards, and we get to put a green permanent from it onto the battlefield. Unfortunately, neither of these qualify. They are not green. So the Diamond Mare coming back to haunt me, but maybe, just maybe, a 5/7 is strong enough, as we have enough attackers next turn to be lethal if the opponent can't deal with our board. So let's see what they're doing. They can always make a Dawn of Hope token and chump block one of our creatures, which is frustrating. And instead they use March of the Multitudes to make 3 chump blockers. Ooh, Aggressive Mammoth. It's a pretty good draw. So we can use that. Drop it. We can use these elves. And the opponent concedes. That's not lethal. That's not lethal. We still couldn't, thanks to lifelink, that game wasn't over, but wow. Got him. What just happened? All right, we got a new deck. Let's check it out. Green and white. I believe this one has a lot of auras. Yep. So it is a deck built around being able to play these aura enchantments to make some creatures better, and I don't really like it. It's nice with Satyr Enchanter because you get to draw cards, and it does have a few like good spells that can help your other decks. I don't like the deck on its own, but let's have a look around. For our green deck, this Thorn Lieutenant is an excellent 1-drop that we can definitely play. This History of Benalia is wonderful for white decks and a key mythic to get. Oaken Form might be good for our green decks as it enables some really great openings if our opponent can't kill anything. Shalai is great for green and white decks. It is a rare, so that's nice. Druid of the Horns is not very good though. Prodigious Growth is a very, very good card, and the rare Sunpetal Grove land feels good to get. So how do we build these into Forest Smite? Well, we definitely want to get our Lieutenant in there. Card is wonderful. The Oaken Forms I'm actually willing to try out because you can throw them on your mana creatures to make them better. So I'm going to grab those. And I'm going to grab the second Prodigious Growth because I think you just want the busted draws is really what we're going for. We want all the busted draws. I'm going to see, look around. The Diamond Mare kind of got us there, but I still think Territorial Boar is worse. I still think that the Greenwood Sentinels, well, they're better now that we have the auras, but they're still not great. Highland Game is definitely not very good. We can trim one of those for certain. I'd much rather have this Thorn Lieutenant. Verdant Rebirth is not very good, so I'll trim that. Even though it does draw the card, it doesn't really play well with the strategy of the deck. I kind of like a 2/5 here against red decks, especially if we Oaken Form it can be so strong. I still like Arcane Encyclopedia as a mana sink if we get in a stall. I don't think Hatchery Spider, I mean, it kind of did it last time, but I would have rather drawn a Prodigious Growth for sure. And I'm not a fan of Meteor Golem, so I think it's a bit too expensive. And from there, let's try the deck. How are we doing on our quest? 25 land, we got a ways to go. 20 more green spells. And now we get a pack if we cast enough green spells. I still like playing monocolor more than double color, even if it would fill this quest faster. Monocolor is it just works better more often. It's more consistent, especially when you don't have all the good rare lands and you're relying on things like guild gates. Well, on the draw, this might be slow, but we do have Rejuvenator for another land, and if we draw 2 lands, well, that still doesn't cast the Mammoth, does it? This might not be good enough. However, I think I'm willing to try it. I'm willing to try it. If we draw a mana creature and another land, that can do it too. And right away we hit a land, so that's good. And we have probably our key card, which is Galta. I don't know if Galta will do us any good against a mono black deck. That mono black is known for removal that doesn't care about how big your creature is, it just kills it. Here's a Darkblade Agent. So for a Surveil deck, as long as you've Surveilled, Death Touch, and whenever it deals damage to a player, you draw a card. That's pretty good. Fortunately, we have a kind of a sacrificial creature here in Rejuvenator that can jump in front and take one for the team. And we may do like a Rabid Bite Titanic Growth trick next turn to get rid of this. We'll see. Skymarch Bloodletter. All right. Our opponent's also on appears to be like a free-to-play, pretty new cards type of player, so a good matchup for us. What to do? I think I might attack with my Rejuvenator because there are some kind of neat things we can do to blow up our opponent's board this turn. I'll go with the Highland Game instead. If the opponent makes this block, we can say Titanic Growth, our Highland Game lives. Kill your Bloodletter. And Rabid Bite, now use the extra power from the Highland Game to kill the Darkblade Agent and get rid of the threat that if that thing's surveilled, it could draw our opponent cards. It also cuts their creatures back to 0. Now the price we pay is we don't play the Druid of the Cowl, which would have made it possible to play our Mammoth next turn, but I think taking our time for that is okay, and we got lucky, we drew the land anyway. So let's drop our aggressive Mammoth and swing into the 1/1 with our creatures. And now the opponent has to answer the Mammoth. Let's see if they have a removal spell for it. They're clicking on it. They're going to Unexplained Disappear, return it to the hand. This will let them surveil one, so they get to grow their Spybug as well. Surveil lets them look at the top card of their deck, choose to put in the graveyard or on top. They kept it on top. When they keep something on top in a situation where they know something about your hand, it means they have an answer. So I would expect that they kept a Price of Fame or a Cast Down, something that can kill this Mammoth. That's important to keep in mind. Our Mammoth is very likely to die, so we can't build a strategy just around it. Regardless though, I want Ghalta to come down, and now that we drew Titanic Growth, we can play the Mammoth this turn, and then next turn, we can Titanic Growth, say a Highland game, and still cast our Ghalta. So, I think the Mammoth is still coming down, and the opponent will spend their turn killing it, and then we'll follow it with Ghalta next turn. It's possible they kept that island because they have a double blue spell. Let's see what they do. But they know about the Mammoth coming, so they must have kept a way to deal with the Mammoth, and it is. It is a Riddlemaster Sphinx. It doesn't kill the Mammoth, which is nice. It returns the Mammoth to the hand. And they're going to attack with the Spybug. Alright. With double Titanic Growth, it makes a lot of sense to attack here. When the opponent blocks, we can use a Titanic Growth to kill their creature and play our Ghalta. Let's see. If we Titanic Growth, and our creature lives, if we double Titanic Growth, I wonder if that's worth it. If we double Titanic Growth and our creature lives, let's say it's the Highland game, that would give us 10, 11, 12, and we could play Ghalta. That's really good. And it kills the opponent's 5/5. I don't like investing all these creatures. Oh, no blocks. Wow, they're going to regret that. They're going to feel this. Take 11 and Ghalta. We put them on death's door. Can we finish the job, or can they mount a comeback? Sleep! Oh no! Our creatures went to bed! Alright, if the opponent has a Surveil spell next turn to grow their Spybug, they can win this game. My mission is to cast X many green spells. So I'm going to cast these 2 spells. Just in case I do die, I at least get my max quest progress. Because I think I win either way, I don't think it makes a big difference. So I'm going to go for the quest progress. Can our opponent Surveil? That's not a Surveil card. Wait a minute. They had lethal, but instead they put the Demonic Vigor on the Nightveil Predator. This gives +1/+1. If they put that on one of these creatures and attacked, they win the game. They say good game. Sure, good game. But you could have won. They could have won, team. What happened? I can play the Mammoth and give my 2/1s trample, but that doesn't matter. Let's go. The opponent says, oops. Okay, they see it. Hopefully they'll do it right next time. Maybe they were being kind to me. Maybe they're a viewer. It's possible. All right, everything going smooth? Why not do more? All right, we've got a Mana Elf, another Mana Maker, a Titanic Growth. We need to draw something huge, but I think it's a playable hand. I'm into it. Our opponent on the mulligan, they're down to 5 now. Alright, Stone Quarry leads the way. Let's get our mana creatures online. And red and white, what do you have? A Martyr of Dusk. Alright, 2-1. We can, I think, just ramping so that we're ready to draw our giant creatures is the way to be. And I'll leave my Druid of the Cowl back to block the 2-1 rather than attack for 1 damage. As the opponent dealing 2 damage to me, I don't really want to throw away my Rejuvenator. I want to save it for something better. Diamond Mare, Diamond Mare. Alright, well, a little bit of life gain might be fun. Let's get that going. I would like to choose green. It's so easy being green after all. Play the land, play the Armasaur, gain the life. And now I have a 2-5. I suppose I can attack with my Druid of the Cowl. Hiya! You will suffer greatly to my 1-3. Just a reminder of this text box, whenever an opponent activates the ability of a creature or land that isn't a mana ability, you may draw a card. I don't see anything that will do that right now. For example, when this dies, it's a triggered ability. An activated ability has a exclamation point in it, or or not exclamation point. Why am I blanking? Colon? So, yeah. It has something like this, a colon, but it specifically says not a mana ability, so this doesn't count. This is the Paladin of the Bloodstained. Makes a critter. 3-2. There is growth. That's what we were looking for. So, there's always a question of what you put the growth on. And if you haven't seen the interaction between Trample and Death Touch, I want to show it to you. So, I'm not even going to play the growth this turn, as much as I'd love to. Perhaps I should have played this last turn on the chance I would draw Prodigious Growth. Also, my attacks aren't good right now to the Paladin, so I'll just put that out past the turn. So, Trample and Death Touch. When something has Trample, the rules are that it needs to deal an amount of damage equal to the creature blocking it that would kill the creature. And then the rest of the damage can go to the player. Death Touch means any damage from the creature is lethal to a creature. So what that means is a creature with Death Touch and Trample only has to deal a single point of damage to any creature blocking it, and the rest goes face. Meaning, even if the opponent blocks this and it has Prodigious Growth on it with a whole bunch of creatures, they would just die. Ooh, that's an attack. All right, let's see what our opponent has for tricks. Because I'm definitely going to put up some blocks. I have a Titanic Growth to blow it up, kinda. I'm willing to wait and see what they do. We'll put a whole bunch of toughness in front of things. What have you got? Trumpet Blast is +2/+0 to all attacking creatures. Alright. I could save a creature if I wanted to with a Titanic Growth. I don't think I want to even, because none of these creatures matter very much. Maybe my mana creature matters. We could still draw something that costs 6 mana or more. So, I'll save my mana creature. And gain 1 more life. I think that's worth it. Obviously, I can't cast Prodigious Growth if I don't have it, so that's a good reason as well. Alrighty. Go big or go home. I'm going to save my Rejuvenator. We have a lot of auras in our deck, so I might be able to make this bigger. I'm not too worried about the 1/1. And we'll see if the opponent has a way to kill the pitiless Gorgon. I really hope they don't have active treason to steal it. Heroic Reinforcements will increase the creature's power, and everybody attacks. I'm taking the damage. I can afford it. I want the counterpoint on attack because, oh wow. Well, sometimes you just got it, my friends. 16 pitiless Gorgon. There is no pity here today. None. All right, let's grab that. Everything's still looking smooth. Apparently we played a black spell, but don't worry, we're not going to fill this up. I don't think I'm casting that many Gorgons. So now we need to play, well, we still have green and white spells to play, so I have to keep playing this deck for the day to get the grind. See if they can find somebody with a janky enough pile to battle me. This hand doesn't have enough land. Shocking, I know. Bottom. Uh-oh. Red mana. Although green versus red isn't usually a terrible matchup. But with a slow hand like this and not enough creatures, if our Druid of the Cowl dies, oh, and they have Runaway Steamkin, well, that's just a pointless... What a pointless endeavor we're undergoing here. I'm sure our Druid will die. But maybe not. Maybe not. Let me get my hopes up here. Just don't kill my Druid. Don't do it. Yep. Warlord's Fury. Growing that Steamkin. Yeah, if you don't have a way to kill that Steamkin immediately, you usually lose the game. Hey, a Highland game, by the way, speaking of game. Let's play it. I'm sure it will die, because that's what cards do against green. But well, at least we'll see. Just trying to play some spells over here. Just trying to get some quests done. Mr. Steamkin just wants to kill me quickly and not let me have anything. Interesting. Not what I expected. Sarkhan can get dragons. So the discard and draw. Opponent probably sending away a land is what I would guess. And oh, a Spear Spewer. So they have a bunch of cards in their hand that are not terrible. Because they discard they discard a land if they had too many lands, and then you'd be like, maybe they're flooding. Oh, they're not attacking me either. Well, there's only so much you can do. If this resolves, we're sitting pretty. Okay. I'm going to throw it at the Sarkhan. See if the opponent's willing to block with a Steamkin. Give me 2 life. How much do they love their Runaway Steamkin? If they block, they have a dragon. Like, that's what that says to me. All right. Duck! Run for cover! It's a dragon!
I will call the dragons.
Hide! Run away! It's the Dragon Queen, who, whenever another dragon enters the battlefield, 5/5 dragon! Here comes a Vigilant Baloth. So, Dragon Queen, what's up?
Doubt my methods.
Don't doubt my methods. Yeah. I'm curious if the opponent's going to try to block for Sarkin or not. Or if the dragon starts attacking. If we draw a Rabid Bite, it would be glorious. But if our Baloth dies, we have no game. And there's Fight with Fire. Yep, we dead. Let's see what we draw off the top, though. Maybe we can work on this spell and this spell quest that we have. Roar. Alright. So I'm out of spells to cast, so I'm just gonna throw some Titanic Growth at this dragon. And I'm going to leave. Because I have quests to do. $25 land, still working on it. 15 more green spells. Little inside info. The next thing I'm working on is a gate deck. It's ridiculously fun. Like, it's so ridiculous. I've already recorded the footage. I play so badly. I play terribly, and I still have a good time because the deck is so insane. You're gonna want to check it out. Of course, you know, you follow me on YouTube, or you support me on Patreon, or you subscribe to me on Twitch, you have probably already checked these things out. But just between you and me, this one was wild. I think I'd rather play my mana creature. Well, what am I doing with 3 mana? I guess I play my Armasaur. Oh, I play my Rejuvenator. Yeah, it's weird because I'd love to play a beater, but I'd also need my mana developed to cast the bigger cards in my deck, which my deck relies on. So it's unfortunate that we drew that on turn 2, but I still think it's the right play to get it out there. And it looks like we're up against fish, so we gotta go. Energizer Bunny. So we could play the Rejuvenator, we could Oakenform the Elf and beat. I don't like that because if the opponent has a Water Trap Weaver or something to shut down our elf, it's very frustrating. Runic Armasaur works okay against a Cumena, but I don't think that's a good reason to get it out now. I think I should get out my maybe I should get out both of my creatures. Just get the clock started. But what if I play Rejuvenator? What if I attack with my elf? Would my opponent block? I don't think they would. Hey-ya. Sneak a damage in. There you go. Alright, let's Rejuvenate. Get our mana together. Try to draw our big trample things like Prodigious Growth. That's, I think, what it will take to beat the Merfolk. Especially when they have their Deep Root Elite on turn 2, an excellent rare card for the deck. Better than most of the things in our deck. Yeah. That's gonna be a big. That's gonna be a good turn. All right, the opponent's attacking. I'll take it. I think I can block something larger in the future with the Rejuvenator. So, lots of choices. I think what I like is getting out the Thorn Lieutenant. It's a good blocker. And then I want to get the Oakenform on top of it, because it's also a very good attacker when I have a 6th mana available. And if the opponent does target with a Water Trap Weaver, I at least get a 1/1 elf out of the deal. So it might slow the opponent down for a minute while they build giant Merfolk with their elite. And slowing them down is fine too. It helps us complete our quest. The longer the game takes, the more spells we get to cast. Here we go. More lords. Looks really nice. Whoa. What's your trick? I guess I'll absorb 4 damage because there could be a card like Sleep in the near future. The opponent's going to disperse away the Oaken form, I think? That's a really good play. Yep, that works. That's a really good play. My stuff dies. Life is hard. Here's a Highland game. We'll put an Oaken form on that too. You want some? Come get some. We just want to make sure we play as many spells as we can until we die. Because at this point, the opponent has much better cards than we do. Is that lethal? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 11, 14. One short. Maybe they mismathed. Or maybe they've got a trick. Oh, look at them. Why not? Yep. Fun magic. All right, 9 more frickin' green spells. Just let it be done. Well, if we don't draw a land, we're not casting anything. But we have our best cards. Like, I guess I have to try. I don't know how this hand, I don't know how the deck mulligans to much, much better. There goes our good card. Boo! They might take the Rejuvenator and try to mana screw us. They're having a tough time with this. I'll chase a Scorpion. Why not? They choose the Armasaur. Interesting. I wonder what their hand has that has an activated ability. We'll try to think about that, see if we can come up with it. Maybe they have a Guild Mage they plan to use. Oh. What? Why you know other land? Maybe their keep is a lot worse than ours. That's exciting. And they took my growth because that was the only thing they could take. He drew a Druid, but let's hit the Rejuvenator so we can possibly bail off next turn. What's it gonna be, free boots? Vigilant Beloth. Let's go. Opponent's still having mana issues all over the place. I'm having trouble getting where their deck is headed. Is it mono black hate your hand? Because my hand has not been hated enough. And I don't know why we took an Armasaur when there's a 12/12 thinking about playing with you. But hopefully you have Murder, because that would get you back in the game. Murder would be ideal here. What's it gonna be? Says go. You want to hit the Galta with the Murder. Well, I didn't come here not to cast my spells. 5, 6, 7 plus 4 is 11. So if I play the Druid, I can't play the Galta. So let's do it. If it's going to get murdered, so be it. Doesn't appear to be murdered. All right. What's happening? Chupa? No. I think they drew that land too, unless they just forgot their land on turn 2. It's a possibility. Freebooter's still not attacking. Ugh. More mana creatures. Get him. Kill him. Alright, I'll play my elves. Might as well. Quest, quest, quest. How many green spells have we played this game? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, opponent with their hand hate, they're ruining me. They're ruining my questing. I could have been on 7. I could only need 2 more, but no. Freebooter. Divest, making me discard. Never got to cast him. Rude. Reading all of the cards. And Severed Strand, sacrifice the Chupa, kill the Baloth. Okay, you did it. That is too bad, but I think I have a solution. Let's attack with these two. See if the opponent's willing to block. No? No blocks ever. Alright, I guess I hold my card. Which is too bad because, yeah. Too bad. Maybe I should have attacked with the Rejuvenator, although obviously there's something wrong. But I just have a feeling this, yep. The opponent's playing a discard deck, so of course they're going to make me discard a card if I hold it. Not to mention I could have played the spell. I just needed something to actually deal damage to. Wow, the freebooter is for the first time ever done being a coward. Alright. Get him. It can kill the Rejuvenator now, but whatever. I'm just too tilted. Yeah, I'm too angry. In fact, let's just get a new hand because the opponent's gonna take forever. They might have a quest to complete, but they better learn to play faster. Now I know I take my time sometimes. Sometimes I have decisions to make, but that's a little extreme and I want to get these quests done. You may be short on time too. Maybe you feel the way I do. Maybe you're more empathetic and you have more time to give to other people. Like figuring out their cards and making blocks and doing things like that. That's fine. You don't have to do exactly what I do. It's okay. We don't have to agree on all the things. That's perfectly fine. People feel differently. People take this stuff differently. You might say, CGB, you could have drawn the perfect card. What if you could have won that game? Winning doesn't matter. I mean, there's kind of the pack reward, but at that point, I'd say we're not favored. So I think the right play odds-wise and value to time-wise is to get a new hand so you can cast spells and knock out those quests and put yourself in a position to win the next game where you might be closer to favored. All right, let's keep. We'll do the dance. Do the waiting for the opponent's hand dance. Boom, 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 boom. Do, 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 do. What you doing with your island? What you doing for turn 2? Just a reminder, music is by Arcade High. They gave me permission on Twitter to use their music on YouTube, which I'm very grateful for. So give them some love. I listen to them on Amazon Prime Music. You can find them on Spotify, Apple Music, all the places. Great video gaming music. Exactly what I'm looking for when I'm getting my game on. More Merfolk. Yay. Just what we wanted to play. This time we have Rabid Bites though. If we can kill their lords, their deep root elites and such, our creatures are bigger than theirs. We'll be okay. Here's the Jade Bear to make the Silver Gill Adept bigger than my Thorn Lieutenant so that, well, same size, but they just want to attack. And I'm actually going to let that happen. I have a Runic Armasaur to put in front of the Silver Gill Adept. So I'm going to attack back with my Thorn Lieutenant. The opponent's going to debate whether or not to block with a 1/1 for a minute. I would not. It is a Merfolk. A body is very good with a Cumena, with a Lord. There are lots of ways to make your Merfolk bigger, so throwing one away to prevent 2 damage here, probably not a good play. And there is Runic Armasaur, which with that big old Stegosaurus booty is going to be a tough one to climb over. And we'll see what the opponent finds. Do you want to see more dancing? It's the ant dance. So, Deep Root Champion gets +1/+1 whenever a non-creature spell is cast. So, any pump spell, any counter spell, any spell, Champion gets bigger. So what to do at this turn? I'm going to try a Rabid Bite just to see if it kills the Silver Gill Adept. And it does. Excellent. So I think I'll save the other Rabid Bite. There might be a big creature in the future that I need to kill or a key lord. And then we can attack with both of our creatures and try to put the pressure on the opponent since they're sort of taking a slow line. Their 2-mana open could be a pump spell, but we would have seen it in response to the Rabid Bite. So that's why I'm confident that there isn't one. Here's Water Trap Weaver to tap down, I'm assuming the Armasaur, because the Thorn Lieutenant would give our opponent a creature, and they attack for 2. They want to be the beatdown. So before I attack with my Thorn Lieutenant, I'm going to make absolutely sure this Vigilant Baloth resolves, that it doesn't get countered by a Quench. And now that it has, I'm going to attack with the Thorn Lieutenant because the Water Trap Weaver does not have a good block on it. And I want to keep the pressure on my opponent. The opponent may have a way to tap down my Baloth and get more damage in. Maybe I'll regret this, but I think that hitting here sets up so that a Prodigious Growth on a Vigilant Baloth, along with a few other attackers, I might be able to win next turn. Trying to set up for the win. The lethal. Here's Misty. Any other tricks? The Great Sleep. Every time they make my creatures take a nap, it usually goes poorly for me. There it is. Big dumb green animals don't know what to do. So now the opponent should attack with their creatures. They did. So, my only hope here really is to Rabid Bite the Mistbinder. Doesn't really matter which creature we choose. So that their creatures are smaller. We'll bet out the Llanowar Elves hoping to get a block and save Prodigious Growth and again try to lethal next turn. Another reason not to hold back blockers too often. Oftentimes it fails. Now there's a Cumena, but remember, using the Cumena does activate the Runic Armasaur. You can draw cards because of that. So let's see what the opponent does. They're going to attack with everything. I could take the damage. In fact, I will, just to make sure I have lethal on the way back. Alright, 4 toughness. If we put Prodigious Growth here, that's 12. The opponent can block it and take 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So yep, we got him. We got him. It was a close race, but we will have vengeance on the Merfolk tribe. The opponent finds this nice, and that's why I love Prodigious Growth in this kind of deck. We're all in on just throwing auras on our creatures anyway. Prodigious Growth becomes like a 7/7 haste. So how's our quests? We got our pack, and we got our green spells. So quest done, and we need one more win for a pack of Ravnica Allegiance. So let's see what we got in our core pack. A Viashino Pyromancer. I don't think I needed one of those, unfortunately. Sarkhan's Unsealing is good for a large creature deck. Let's make sure we have all the Viashinos in our red deck. I think I do. Yep, they're all there. Nope, no wild cards. So, all right, red deck, let's dance. Let's get that last pack. We're in silver now, after all. Let's light something on fire. If we get that win, it'll be, I think, the end of the grind for the day. Small creatures, small spells, 4 land. I don't know if that's good enough. I think I have to mulligan that. Ooh. Well, I'll keep it and hope to find another mountain. There you go. This isn't a great hand, but I think the last hand was way too risky. Our opponent opens with Golgari Guildgate. And Golgari Guildgate and Llanowar Elves, so we can shoot that elf. And I certainly want to keep my opponent from doing too many awesome things with their mana. And we could play the Pyromancer, the Goblin Instigator, or the Firebrand against this deck. It's kind of tough. I think I'll play the Instigator on hopes that we get the damage in early, because Pyromancer can always get its damage in. Plus it teams up with Wizard's Lightning, which we don't want this to die and then we draw Wizard's Lightning that we can't cast. So I'd love to save it for later. Memorial to Folly, go. Excellent. So we do get some early damage in. Let's play a Fanatical Firebrand to join the team. The opponent could have a Ritual of Soot, so I think it makes sense to hold back a creature in a way. At the same time, I think I lose the long game no matter what I do, so I have to gamble that they don't have that type of card, play Viashino Pyromancer, and just go for all the damage, and try to get there. So don't kill my creatures. Okay, Midnight Reaper is great. It's precisely what you like to see, because it does an extra damage to our opponent when it dies. It's not going to be in the way of our creatures, so we get all this creature damage in. And yeah, we're getting there. It's close. You can feel it. Our opponent with too slow of a draw, all tap lands. And we have brought the heat. Here's a Chupacabra. Not a sweeper though. Not something that would kill all of our creatures. Another Pyromancer is wonderful. And I think it just means lethal time. So let's go next. We've got the Skewer. The opponent can only block one of them. The only thing I'm worried about is a fungal infection, which they don't appear to have. Perhaps a salty rope from the opponent, perhaps really trying to think of what they could do here. Their hand must have some powerful, expensive spells, or I don't think they would have kept it. And here's the Skewer. Ba-bam! Got him. And just like that, Silver 3 rank up. Let's open that pack and then wind down the video. A Sky Marcher Aspirant's great for our white deck, so actually a pretty good card to get there. And in our pack we have a Spear Spewer, another light up the stage, and Mythic Biogenic Ooze. Where were you when I was playing green? I don't have any of these in my full account where I opened like 130 packs, I think. Let's take one last look back here at the red deck. 4th light up the stage, sweet. Do I want the Spewer? I think it's better than the Footlight Fiend in the deck, especially with the light up the stage. So Fiend can go out. And we have one more extra card. I think it's time to consider cutting the big cards. I think we're low enough to the ground that we don't need them anymore. So, yep. I think it's finally time to say bye-bye to Siege Gang Commander. The next step will be to trim down a few more mountains and possibly the Rekindling Phoenix as well. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video and this time with the free-to-play account. Thank you very much for watching. As always, I will see you in the next video.